So this isn't a story I wanted to report. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and I am filming this on April Fool's Day, but I'm pretty sure this is not an April Fool's Day joke. A bunch of reputable sites are reporting this, sites that have no connection to one another whatsoever, so I'm going to assume it's real, but just to be on the safe side, you won't be seeing this until Friday, so if it's not real, I can take it down. I don't know why I'm telling you this, because if you're watching this, clearly this is a real thing. So anyway, work from home. I love work from home. I have always loved work from home. Work from home, home. I do not need to go in the office. Nobody needs to go into the office. Very, very, very few people need to go into the office to actually work. You know, I have a friend who has worked from home for more than 10 years. And when my dad asked him, why doesn't the company let more people work from home when it seems like it's very much a valid thing to do, my friend told my dad, there's pretty much one thing that's keeping employers from letting employees work from home, and he said that roughly 60% of the workforce can work from home, but there's one thing that's holding the employers back from doing it. Trust. The employers, frankly, don't trust that employees will actually do work from home, and thus work from home has been like a big luxury. You have to be like 500 pounds or something to apply to work from home and actually get it, and even then you might even lose your job. Well, pandemic changed everything. Everyone who could work from home was encouraged to work from home. And guess what? It was wonderful. Yeah, the whole school thing from home didn't work out too well for kids. Kids are a little bit more easily distracted. Parents aren't always able to be as attentive as a teacher can be. But, you know, overall, if you were an adult who had a computer, thanks to cloud services like Google, who we're talking about if you couldn't figure out, they could work from home, and they could work from home wonderfully. My wife has been working from home for more than a year. I've been working home for most of the year. Another job I did was not really very good about this, but you know, now I'm working someplace and I can now work from home. And Google was the first company that initiated the work from home program, and other tech companies followed. Now, this is important because people tend to follow Google. Google sets this trend and the standard for a lot of things in Silicon Valley, the same way that Apple sets the trends and the standards for the smartphone market. And several companies like Twitter and Facebook basically said that work from home was going to be permanent. Amazon is going to be doing a hybrid model. You know, I was talking to another friend, and he said, you know, the only thing that I have to do when I get, not have to do, I should rephrase it. The only thing I get when I actually go into the office is I get to talk to coworkers. Otherwise, nothing about my job is any different from home as the office. And you know what? After this pandemic is over, if they make me go back into the office, that's just going to seem punitive at this point. And I agree. Companies really, seriously, if you're watching this, I don't care if you're Google or some small-time business, if you've got employees who are working from home and they can easily do their job, and they've proven that they're doing their job from home, please continue to let them stay at home. It just makes sense. There's less stress. There's less gas being used. Better for the environment. Better for traffic, which in Silicon Valley and San Francisco and LA, that's a huge thing. If you can remove 30 to 40% of the cars off the road every day, that's a very, very, very good thing. And yet, biggest tech company in the world, Google, wants you to return to the office. In fact, they not only want you to return to the office, they want to make it really, really difficult for you to actually work remotely. Now, Forbes adds this little thing like, this looks like a blow to the remote work trend. I'm not going to jump on that just yet. Again, Twitter, Facebook, and Amazon, and even Microsoft have all said that work from home / hybrid models is going to be a big part of the future. And truthfully, I don't see a lot of companies even doing that. In fact, I know another friend, I know a lot of friends, but he's been working from home for the last year, and his company, and granted, it's a medium-sized company, it's not a Google, but they actually vacated their offices. They were like, you know what? We're not coming back. We're going to get like a studio, and we'll hold job interviews there. And then we'll have another studio where you can get trained. But otherwise, no, we don't need people to be in the office. We don't need all this space. We don't need to pay for it. We're leaving the office and we're not coming back. That's pretty much where they went. But again, Google is a trendsetter, and I do wonder if this is going to have an effect on work from home, because even though everything from what we've seen have proven that work from home, well, not to be punny, but, works, and it's better for the environment, better for people's mental health, and everything like that, Google wants to bring it back, and they want to be punitive about it. Now, I'm not going to read this whole article. Let's just go to the key part. So, a number of big tech companies, including Salesforce, Facebook, and Amazon, gravitate towards this hybrid model in which there will be a combination of both working from the office and at home. Some places like Spotify are still offering the opportunity for people to work from anywhere they'd like. Google is once again setting the pace. The company announced plans to fast-track its reopening plans. This will be accomplished on a voluntary basis. It's anticipated that people will start returning to work before the September 1st return deadline, according to CNBC, because Google said we're going to do this for, several months, and then they extended it to September 1st, 2021. So that is officially the move back day. However, some people can start returning earlier. According to the New York Times, Fiona Ciccione, I probably botched that, Ciccione, Google Chief People Officer, told employees in email, offices will operate at a limited capacity and reopenings will vary state by state based on the number of coronavirus cases in the area. Permanent moves for personal reasons are still on hold. Google expects workers to, quote, live within commuting distance of offices. The company also communicated that it may adjust employees' salaries based on where they work. Now, what is the what are the requirements to work from home? In a pushback to remote work, Google told employees that if they, quote, want to work remotely after September 1st for more than 14 days per year, they'll have to formally apply for it. They can also apply for up to 12 months in the, quote, most exceptional circumstances, unquote. So what does this mean? Basically, this means you're working at Google, like at their office. Like if you work for Google, you're coming into the office. Hey, does it matter that you've been doing a good job for the last year and a half? Does it matter that you saved so much gas and time and money because you didn't have to drive to work? Does it matter that for some people going to work is stressful and working from home gives them a chance to mentally unpack, and they can be more productive than at work where there's a ton of people and a ton of questions flying their way? Does it even matter that Google, the cloud computing giant second only to Amazon, where their products are tailor-made to help other companies work from home remotely, their products were designed to help other companies do remote work beautifully. Does it matter that they, who spearheaded the work from home product that made it possible for employees everywhere to work from home, don't want to actually work from home themselves? So I just find this extremely, extremely petty on Google's part. And that's not even the worst part. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but it actually got way, way worse. Like, this part of the note is what pissed me off. Permanent moves for personal reasons are still on hold, and Google expects workers to live within commuting distance to the office. So, all you people who moved out of San Francisco, who moved out of Silicon Valley, and moved to Sacramento, where you drove the housing prices for Sacramento and Roseville and Citrus Heights way above what they should be worth. I know, because I'm looking at those houses, just to let you know. Yeah, you moved there to save money or to get your dream house. Guess what? You can't have it. You are expected to be within commuting distance. Here's the other thing. The company also communicated that it may adjust employee salaries based on where they work. Oh, heck no. Heck no. You know what? No. That is not how this works. And I, by the way, fully expect a lawsuit on that one. No. You mean to tell me that based on where I live, They might pay me less. Like, how much more punitive can you get? You know, a lot of people at Google make very good money, and still some people can't afford to actually buy a house where Google office are located, because Google goes to the most expensive cities, the most expensive areas. Having commuting distance to Google that's affordable is usually not a reality unless you and 3 other Googlers are renting a 2-bedroom apartment like 5 miles down the road. Otherwise, it's usually not possible. The pandemic forced you to move people home. And in that process, your employees found that they were largely less stressed out, that they saved a lot of money. Heck, they could move someplace where they could actually afford the life that working at Google promises them to have. And now you're doing the 1-2 punch to make sure they can't have the American dream. Hey, you got to be within commuting distance of Google. And by the way, if you work in Kentucky, or if you work in Arizona, or if you work from Las Vegas, if you work anywhere that is much smaller costs of living, guess what? We're adjusting your pay. You don't get a leg up. You gotta live in those shitty apartments for as long as we tell you. Give me a break. This is stupid. I don't understand why they're doing this. Like, if anything, you would think Google would want to keep the remote work thing a thing, because you know what people use when they work remotely? They use Google products. Seriously, Google products were way on the rise because work from home was a huge thing, and Google's integrated cloud services with spreadsheet programs and chat and hangout and all these things, Google products were way more popular than they usually were because of work from home. And you would think that Google, of all companies, would want to encourage that trend to continue. Hey, we've been selling more of our services than ever before because people are working from home. Let's try to keep the trend going, and we will keep the trend going by leading by example. But no, they think that they are more spontaneous when they are together, even though you can be together on a Zoom call or I guess a Google Hangouts. Did Google kill that? I don't know. But you would think that they would actually do this. And then for them to actually say, oh, you've got to apply to work from home more than 14 days a year, even though for more than a year, people have proven that Google can still run with remote work, and then you're going to be punitive about it. You're going to be extra punitive by saying, oh, and by the way, if you live in Sacramento, guess what? You might as well sell that house and come back to San Francisco, where you also can't afford to live, because we're going to dock your pay. Yeah, great, Google. You know what? Here's my thing. If I'm doing a job for you, and I don't work for Google, obviously, but if I'm doing a job for you, I'm getting the same damn pay as the guy next to me. You are not docking it just because I live 3 hours away. That is not how this is going to work. And I expect Google will definitely be sued for that at some point. Now, again, maybe other companies won't do this thing that Google's doing. Again, Spotify, Twitter, Facebook, Amazon, they all seem to be continuing the work from home hybrid models. And there's a bunch of smaller companies that don't necessarily want to return to the office. And I still think the retail space is going to change significantly because of that. But it's just a shame that Google, who is in the prime position to really innovate in the remote work specter, is actually trying to take that away. Google benefits more from work from home being a mainstream thing. And you know what? I bet you they can even scale down their offices a little bit. I mean, the Google offices are nice, but let's face it, they don't need them. It's a status symbol. Maybe that's what Google is afraid of. They're paying all this money for real estate, and it's largely not being occupied, and maybe that's it. Although I will say, and I'm going to mention one more friend, and then that will be the last friend, I promise. Some people just think in person is better. I have a friend who said, I told him, like, I can't wait for work from home to be like a more permanent thing. This is great. It's the future. And he said, no. I can't wait for us to get back to the office. The spontaneity, the creativity, the bouncing ideas off each other. And I looked at him and I'm like, hey, so-and-so, I don't want to say his name, you're an accountant. You're an accountant. You're not making Toy Story 2. You're crunching numbers. What do you mean spontaneity? But, some people just feel that way. But anyway, I would like to know, what do you think about this, though? Do you think Google is right to be doing this? Maybe you have a different opinion and think that Google might have some valid reasons for wanting to move their work back to the office. Or are you kind of like on my side where it's like, this is absolutely stupid. You shouldn't be doing this. And what do you think about the pay changes? Like, should someone get paid differently for doing the same job just because they're doing it in another city? That's the one that incenses me the most. Like, I can't believe it. But anyway, I would like to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.